Turning to a consumer alert tonight, the U.S. added over 400,000 jobs in the month of January, quelling fears that Omicron was having a negative impact on the labor market. Joining us now live to discuss the recent job report and what it means for the U.S. economy is Vice President of Trading and Fixed Income Portfolio Management for Ferguson Wellman, Blaine Dickason. Blaine, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So just jumping into it, today's new report by the Labor Department was something of a surprise for some economists who anticipated more negative impacts because of Omicron. What does today's news mean for the U.S. economy?
Well, first off, without a doubt, today was a fantastic jobs report. As you mentioned, we had nearly 500,000 jobs added in the month of January. So there'd been a number of doubts leading into this release. You referenced the Omicron fears and some concerns about that impact. But basically, you add nearly 500,000 people to the job force. You add their wages, they're going up nicely, and that is an unequivocal positive for the U.S. economy.
In what sectors are we seeing the most growth right now?
Yeah, so what was really nice to see in this report of that 450 plus jobs added, nearly all of them were net adds in the service sector. So that's been an area that's really been affected the last 2 years as the pandemic has shut down restaurants, areas that are dependent on travel and tourism. So the fact that those are coming back is a fantastic indicator. And within the ads, 150,000 were specifically added in the travel and hospitality sector. So that's a great sign for many areas of our country.
So a great sign. And then the thing that came immediately to my mind was how long might this trend continue?
Yeah, sure. So any 1 month job numbers can fluctuate, but we know that we're in a strong economy and strong economies are fantastic engines of job creation. So we see that this is a long-lasting trend, and we're getting back to area of strength that we had been immediately before the pandemic when unemployment rate was also quite low.
Talking about unemployment, I have a note right here. The unemployment rate is at 4%. Do you know where it was just before the pandemic began and how close we are to being where we were before the pandemic?
Right, we're getting a lot closer. The unemployment rate was 3.5% that month before the economy really shut down in February of 2020. 22 million people lost their jobs in the next 2 months. We've gained about 90% of those jobs back. So we've made a ton of progress in less than 2 years. It's a phenomenal achievement. We still have more to go. And the good thing is that as the economy continues to grow, there's no ceiling on that job number. So we can continue to add. And as long as the expansion extends, which our current strong economy, we have every reason to believe it will, we're on a path to add even more jobs and take out the prior highs pre-pandemic.
In addition to the jobs we're talking about, are there any other indicators that signal things are getting better?
Yeah, so another data point from today's release that was extremely positive is that the labor force continues to expand. And actually, there's a measurement of over 1 million people are coming back into the labor force. We've heard lots of reports from employers that there's been scarcity of labor, and that's probably not going away anytime soon. But originally, you had concerns about childcare, about health and safety, even some people taking early retirement, and a concern that we would not have enough workers to get back to where we were beforehand. Today's release showed that a lot more people are willing to come back and hopefully start to fill some of those job openings that we see all over the economy.
All right, glad to see things are trending in the right direction.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Thanks, Blaine.